All right, let's hear the lying doctor, Dr. Sean Conley, talk now.
Sean Dooley, as Dr. Conley mentioned. Thank you, and good afternoon. I'm Dr. Sean Dooley, as Dr. Conley mentioned. I'll start off by mentioning how incredibly proud I am of our medical team assembled behind me, and the honor it's been to care for the president over these last 24 hours here at Walter Reed. He's receiving outstanding multidisciplinary care, the state of the science for coronavirus infection.
Oh yeah, I gotta run an ad before I hit this video, sorry, and I gotta go pee anyway. Good call, chat. There, you won't be missing anything.
Very closely for any evidence of complications from either the coronavirus illness or the therapies that we are prescribing to make him better. We have monitored his cardiac function, his kidney function, his liver function. All of those are normal. And the president this morning is not on oxygen, not having difficulty breathing or walking around the White House medical unit upstairs. He's in exceptionally good spirits. And in fact, as we were completing our multidisciplinary rounds this morning, the quote he left us with was, "I feel like I could walk out of here today." And that was a very encouraging comment from the president. Moving forward, I'll go ahead and introduce Dr. Garibaldi, who will talk about some of our therapeutics and the plan of care for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dooley, and I'd like to echo the sentiment from the entire team. What an honor and a privilege it is to be part of this multidisciplinary unit to care for the president. About 48 hours ago, the president received a special antibody therapy directed against the coronavirus, and we're working very closely with the company to monitor him in terms of that outcome. Yesterday evening, he received his first dose of IV remdesivir, and our plan is to continue a 5-day treatment course for remdesivir. And the big plan for today, since he's in such great spirits and doing well, is to encourage him to eat, to drink, to stay hydrated, to be up out of bed, and to be working and doing the things that he needs to do to get well. I'll refer Dr. Connolly to any
That is so
questions.
sad. Alexa Plain
Thanks, Brian. It's important to note the president's been fever-free for over 24 hours. We remain cautiously optimistic, but he's doing great. With that, one other note. It should be clear that he's got plenty of work to get done from the Chief of Staff, and he's doing it. With that, if there's a couple questions about the president's health in the last couple days.
Sir, could you tell us the president's oxygen saturation level, please?
Yeah, so the last saturation that we had up walking around, he was about 96%.
And he's receiving he has not received any supplemental oxygen?
He's not on oxygen right now.
Guys, is there a new all gas, no brakes video? Guys, is there a new all gas, no brakes video? Oh, wow. Oh, no? Okay, never mind. I guess there's nothing to watch then.
Now, that's right.
He has not received any at all?
He's not needed any this morning today at all. That's right.
Thank you. Shut the fuck up for the 5 tier 1 gift subs.
Do you have an estimated date when he might be discharged?
Well, I don't want to put a hard date on that. He's doing so well, but with a known course of the illness, days 7 to 10, we get really concerned about the inflammatory phase 2. Given that we provided some of these advanced therapies so early in the course, a little bit earlier than most of the patients we know and follow, it's hard to tell where he is on that course. And so every day we're evaluating, does he need to be here? What does he need? And where's he going?
What do you see as the probability that he will need supplemental oxygen going forward?
I don't want to put a percentage on that, but right now all indicators are that he'll remain off of oxygen going forward.
And in terms of like blood clots, pneumonia, bacterial infection, what do you see as the risk on that front?
Well, we know that all of them are risks associated with this condition. He is receiving all of the standard of care and beyond per routine, international COVID protocols. So we're monitoring for all of that, but at the moment, there's no cause for concern.
You said he's fever-free now. What was his fever when he had one, sir?
I'd rather not give any specific numbers, but he
Why not?
did have a fever.
I mean, that's your job, isn't it? And it's for us to know he's a public servant. Just because the president doesn't mean that we shouldn't. I mean, we should know, right? We deserve to know, I think.
Thursday into Friday, and since Friday morning, he's had none.
Okay. And what was the date?
On top of the other antibodies.
I'm sorry?
Why remdesivir on top of the antibodies?
So remdesivir works a little bit differently than the antibodies. We're maximizing all aspects of his care, attacking this virus, multi-pronged approach. As the president, I didn't want to hold anything back. If there was any possibility that it would add value to his care and expedite his return, I wanted to take it. And the team agreed, and that's why we proceeded.
Doctor, what was the date of the president's last negative test?
I'm not going to get into all the testing going back, but he and all the staff routinely are tested, and so.
Doctor, what is the PPE protocol for President Trump receiving visitors and doctors?
It's the same as any hospital has. We have an area that's clean that you put your equipment on, and then beyond that, everybody is fully gowned up, masks, gloves. We're protecting ourselves and him.
Have you done a screen? Has there been any sign of any lung damage whatsoever?
We are following all of that. We do daily ultrasounds.
I mean, what? Okay. This actually ties into what I wanted to talk about, which is why there are so many conspiracies, both on the liberal side and also on the Republican side about this. Because this administration has been so shrouded in secrecy and has trafficked in so much misinformation that every single legitimate source of information now is questioned, and everyone is skeptical of even the fucking president's own doctors. Like, the president's own doctors. He's unironically saying this. Yeah, Felix was correct on this. This is Donald Trump's doctor. The president is doing amazing. We are currently giving him 7 experimental drugs just to see how they react to a perfect human body that is healthy. Furthermore, we are asking for the blood type of every staffer as a part of a surprise party for him. It is. They are doing that. They're basically doing that. And part of the reason why people are skeptical is because these guys have lied for so long and so relentlessly that it is pretty hard to believe what they're fucking saying nowadays.
Do daily lab work. The team is tracking all of that.
Has there been any sign of damage, sir?
I'm not going to go into specifics of what the findings of any of that are.
If we just put you down on one thing, has he ever been on supplemental oxygen?
Right now he is not on oxygen.
I know you keep.
Wow, he keeps saying right now he's not on it, dude. That's such a. You know what that is? Okay. That's the old Bill Clinton line, you know? I did not have sexual relations. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. It's like technically, if you think that a blowjob is not considered sexual relations, then you don't think about it. And it's like, technically, if you say we are not currently giving him oxygen, then if you gave him oxygen before, that's fine. You're still not lying, but you're kind of lying by omission.
Keep saying that's right now, but should we read into the fact that he had been previously?
Yesterday and today, he was not on oxygen.
So he has not been on it during his COVID treatment.
He's not on oxygen right now.
So he said yesterday and today he's not on oxygen. That was a lie, right? So someone else just confirmed that he was on oxygen, or the speculation currently is that he was on oxygen before the... Why is he smiling? Dude, this guy is a terrible imposter, dude. He's literally giving it away. Like, he is so sus. Dude, hey, White is sus, dude. Yeet him out. Yeet him out. I saw White at medical. He faked the task. He was not actually doing the medbay scan. That's sus. Yeet him. It's White and Orange. White is covering for Orange. White did not want to vote for Orange immediately. Get him out. It's both of them.
Considered as a viable treatment option for the president?
We discussed it. He asked about it. He's not on it now.
And in
Doctor,
terms of symptoms, has he
Yeah.
also
Orange faked oxygen. White is currently lying about it. He did a med-based scan. He acted like he did a med-based scan. I saw him vent. They're covering for one another. That's why he's not voting for him. He's filibustering. Get him out.
difficulty breathing?
No, he has not. Never did. He had a little cough. He had the fever. More than anything, he's felt run down.
Who is handling contact tracing? Is that the White House or CDC?
The White House Medical Unit, in conjunction with in collaboration with CDC and local state and health departments, are conducting all contact tracing per CDC guidelines.
When was the positive diagnosis made? You said 72 hours. That would put that Wednesday.
Yeah. So Thursday afternoon, following the news of a close contact, is when we repeated testing. And given kind of clinical indications, that a little bit more concern, and that's when late that night we got the PCR confirmation that he was.
Is there any clarity on how he became infected?
Not going to go into that. As far as his care, it's irrelevant.
Or when he became infected?
Yeah, we're not going to go into that. We're just trying.
Okay, how is that irrelevant as far as his care? Maybe the first one might be irrelevant. Where he contracted it, it might be irrelevant. But when he contracted it is absolutely relevant to the care. And not only that, but you're not just a doctor taking care of the president. You're a doctor taking care of the president who is now informing the public on the matter. Okay? So it absolutely is relevant. Not only is it relevant to your analysis and what you have to do for Donald Trump, but it's also incredibly relevant to the public to know as well. I wasn't aware that you're a doctor. Wait, you think I need to be a doctor to know what level of fucking incubation or like how far into Trump's COVID cycle we're in? I'm not a fucking doctor, you dumbass. I don't need to be a doctor to know that that's still incredibly relevant information as it pertains to the way that you treat this person. I have no idea how HIPAA would work in this situation. I really do not know how HIPAA would work. But I do know for a fact that from an epidemiology standpoint, it is completely relevant to know what point the president is in his coronavirus cycle, but also how many people he knowingly fucking spread the disease to. So the White House put out a statement from the president's doctor that spelled the experimental drug, that misspelled the experimental drug. Yeah, and also said he misspoke when he read 72 hours off a sheet of paper, meant to say 2 days ago. The note goes on to say he's misspoke also when he said 48 hours, he meant yesterday. Except the problem is that the doctor who issued this statement didn't actually ever say 48 hours. Another doctor did. Also, the note isn't signed. This is why HIPAA is irrelevant when they're having a goddamn press conference. They're all lying. Yeah. If true that he was diagnosed on Wednesday and the White House is lying, then this timeline shows he already received treatment and still met with people. The aggregate timeline: on Tuesday, Trump arrives late to the debate, is not tested by Cleveland Clinic. Family refused to follow mask wearing protocol. This is according to Chris Wallace. We talked about this yesterday. And then Wednesday, midday, Trump tests positive, potentially, and is diagnosed with COVID. The Biden team is not contacted and no information is shared with the press. Wednesday afternoon, Trump continues to travel to Minnesota for a rally and fundraise at a prominent donor's house. Hope Hicks feels sick, quarantines aboard Air Force One. This is real. We already talked about this. Thursday, Hope Hicks is diagnosed with COVID and they can no longer keep it a secret. Trump begins the experimental treatment with Dr. Conley. Trump travels to the New Jersey Golf Club to meet with 18 donors in an indoors roundtable without masks. White House sources later say he appears tired. Remember, the Thursday part, I just need to mention this. The Thursday afternoon part doesn't even matter if he had been diagnosed with COVID or not. The Thursday afternoon part should have never happened. As soon as on Wednesday afternoon, you fucking quarantine a person that you've been working closely on that fucking airplane that you're on, you inform every single person, and you yourself are supposed to quarantine and get 2 negative tests at the very least before you can go back out in public. They lied. They didn't tell anyone. That's 100% without a doubt true. Like, this part is not speculative. The part that's speculative is like, did he figure out that he tested positive on Wednesday midday? Or did we first figure out on Friday morning, like late morning, or Thursday night, Friday early morning, when he actually tested positive for the first time? So that's the speculation here. Like, what point did Trump figure out that he conclusively had tested positive for coronavirus? But none of that matters when you think about Trump personally putting his top donors in New Jersey at risk by not telling them that he was around someone that had already tested positive for COVID and that had to be quarantined. How insane is that? They didn't tell the press. They didn't tell the press corps that was on the fucking flight on Air Force One, and some of those people are now positive. Like, some of those people have tested positive for coronavirus.
I will forever misuse Hasso.
White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows states that the president is doing very well and the doctors are pleased with his vital signs. Says the president is up and asking for documents to review. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he's literally draining the swamp, dude. Anyway, let's go back to the Olivia Newsy timeline, though. So